Pig is that show that always ends with everyone laughing on the floor. There's never an episode that doesn't end that way. But what if I told you that behind all this fun, there's a character manipulating all the residents of Peppa's town and filming their lives without them knowing? Imagine this. They're being recorded for a show broadcast in various places around the world, completely unaware of it. And it seems one of the most beloved characters in the series is involved in all this, Miss Rabbit. If this is true, she doesn't have multiple jobs. She only has one role, to deceive us all. This would undoubtedly make her the most evil character in the entire Peppa Pig series. Curious to understand this better? Then stay with us to discover all about the amazing and sometimes dark world of Peppa. TV Land. For several years, Peppa Pig was just a show with episodes released little by little. But in 2019, during Season 6, something strange happened in Episode 20, titled TV Land. In this episode, the Pig family is watching Super Potato with Emily and Edmund Elephant. During the session, Mummy Pig realizes she knows the show's theme song by heart, and Daddy Pig comments that the show never changes and is on at the same times every single day. Keep that phrase in mind, because it's the key to uncovering Miss Rabbit's possible plan, which you'll understand soon. The kids wonder how such small characters fit inside the TV, so Daddy Pig decides to take everyone to the studio where the show is filmed. There, the family discovers that Miss Rabbit is the one running everything. It's always her. She's the coordinator for Super Potato, controlling when the recordings start and end, showing that she's always behind the scenes. Remember this. After welcoming the family, she asks if any of the kids want to appear on TV. Peppa immediately says yes, but little did she know that this was the start of something much bigger Miss Rabbit had planned. Peppa's Show. When little Peppa decides to appear on TV, it's Miss Rabbit who encourages her, telling her to say whatever she wants. Peppa then introduces her family, and in the end, everyone laughs and falls to the floor, as we always see. But what no one expected is that this was just the beginning of what would later become the opening scene of all over 300 episodes of the series. That scene we see every time an episode of Peppa Pig starts was filmed that day. In that episode, and has been used for the last 20 years since 2004, with the blue sky and green grass we always thought were real, but were actually a fake TV set. We could say that the Pig family's visit to the studio that day gave Miss Rabbit a big idea to create a new TV show different from Super Potato's show, which always repeated the same lines. She decided to make a show with varied episodes, where the town's residents, including the Pig family, would be the actors. Without needing scripts or professional actors, she created Peppa's Show that we all know that day. But here's an important detail. It's likely that neither Peppa nor her family knows they're in a TV show to this day. To make sure no one discovered her plan, Miss Rabbit records everything and then broadcasts it, ensuring the show isn't aired on the town's TVs, but only to the rest of the world, including to me and you. Before we continue with this spooky story, if, like me, you think this theory makes Peppa's world a lot stranger, comment below with fear-hidden recordings. It's incredible to think that the Pig family's part of a TV show without even realizing it. Surprisingly, this doesn't make Miss Rabbit a villain in everyone else's eyes. After all, if everything was staged, the pigs would know their lives are a television series. The real question is, everyone in town, except for the employees working with Miss Rabbit, seems unaware that they're being filmed. Doesn't that make it all a bit suspicious? One thing that supports this theory is the fact that whenever an episode of Peppa begins, we see an image zooming slowly toward the window of the building where the episode will take place. Whether it's Peppa's house, the school, or any other location, it always starts this way. This suggests that a spy camera is capturing everything from the outside in, always using a glass window to avoid detection. With this ingenious idea, Miss Rabbit manages to resolve the script issues she had with the Super Potato Show, as this program captures Peppa and her friends' everyday lives, making each episode unique and spontaneous. If this is all true, we can confidently say that, in reality, Miss Rabbit doesn't have over 100 jobs. She has just one, directing Peppa's hidden show. A show that Peppa herself doesn't even know exists. Wow, that's just creepy. It's like someone's always watching everything you do, but you have absolutely no idea. Miss Rabbit. Considering all these facts, there's no doubt that Miss Rabbit is indeed the most intriguing character in Peppa Pig. Who hasn't wondered how it's possible for her to have so many different jobs? But now, it all makes sense. Miss Rabbit is always involved in town events, such as festivals and fairs. No matter how magical this town may seem, handling so many roles at once would be impossible, even in a cartoon. One logical explanation is that, since it's all part of a TV show, she's an actress, as well as the director. She takes on various roles to avoid hiring new actors for minor parts, simplifying her work and keeping her secret even more hidden. The town's residents, who aren't particularly sharp, don't notice anything and accept that Miss Rabbit has over 100 jobs. This trick makes her plan entirely feasible and even more sinister. After all, a director's job is to make things happen. However, the problem is that Miss Rabbit films everything without permission, and the only ones aware of this scheme are the studio employees and a few actors she's hired. The truth is, while Peppa's town's residents might be a little clueless, I bet you're sharper than that. So, if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, now's the time. Perfect world. Miss Rabbit's plan, as the studio director, seems to have been successful for quite some time. And if you still find it hard to believe, watch the end of the episode TV Land. There, she reveals her secret by saying that Peppa could be on TV every day. More than that, she says they'll appear hundreds and hundreds of times. I don't know about you, but that sounded a bit sinister to me. This implies that this day was the start of it all, the first day of Peppa's show recordings. From there, all the episodes we know could have been created. This revelation adds a dark twist to the fact that Miss Rabbit fully understands how TV can influence people's minds. It's evident when we remember Mummy Pig realizing she knew Super Potato's theme song without even noticing how she learned it. This is the result of hearing the same theme over and over, day after day, while her kids watch the show. Similarly, in the same episode, we see Mummy Sheep singing the same song as if she were on autopilot, highlighting TV's power. Miss Rabbit knows all of this and uses this influence to manipulate the town's residents without them realizing, making them all involuntary characters in the show, almost as if they're her servants. Actors. In this secret scheme, some characters are aware and part of the show. The most famous among them is certainly Super Potato, who is actually also Mr. Potato. This confirms they're the same character. It may seem odd since they've been seen together, and Super Potato supposedly has superpowers. But remember, it's all part of Miss Rabbit's show. In the episode TV Land, we see a recording happening in the studio, where Super Potato tests his voice and reads a script. This suggests that special effects and stunt doubles are involved, all orchestrated by Miss Rabbit to create the show. Earlier on, the kids watch Super Potato seemingly flying, but behind the scenes, we see it's just a blue screen used as the set. This way, Mr. Potato and Super Potato end up being portrayed by the same actor. This trick helps save costs since Miss Rabbit avoids hiring different actors for each role. No wonder she received a medal from the Queen for her hard work. But then again, who's to say it was the real Queen? It was probably just another actress hired by Miss Rabbit to play the monarch. And if this is true, we could also say that Santa Claus and the pirate, other humans in the series, are just actors. In fact, even the narrator we hear throughout the episodes would just be another employee hired by the television company, just another piece of this strange scheme led by a dark and wicked Miss Rabbit, hungry for power and, of course, money. After noticing all these details about Miss Rabbit, it's hard to look at her the same way, isn't it? Who would have thought that such an innocent character could be behind something so mysterious? But one thing's for sure, our videos are here to stay, always bringing you curiosities and theories for you, the animation fan. Speaking of which, we've got 2 more interesting videos for you to watch right now. Just pick which one to start with. Enjoy, and see you next time.